What's up, guys? It's your boy Jeff again, out for another ride along Lake Tahoe, the west shore on the ACEDECK STELLA S1. But I'm sure you can read, so you already knew which board I was on and what I was doing. This is a pretty sweet little board. I've had this thing for a bit. Watched a lot of Scott Davies YouTube videos on this. Decided to get it off of his recommendation, and I couldn't really be happier with a small mini-ish board. Not sure if you can tell, but this trail does have a lot of imperfections, a lot of cracks, and just a lot of areas where you could lose control and take a spill. But this board actually did handle everything really well. Very stable. You know, you're not really going too fast on these little mini boards, but you still can get 20 miles an hour in S mode, which is really impressive. I think for this little thing, you're not at a lack for power in really any way. It really cruises through. You gotta be careful. There is a bit of ice also and water, but as long as you keep the trucks and the boards facing straight ahead, not putting pressure on either side, it does just kind of roll right through it. Like right up here, it just kind of cruises right on through. The mini board for some big adventures. Going around Lake Tahoe, easily get up to like 15 miles on this thing, taking the sights without taking up space in your vehicle. This board is also great for those epic dock walkways. One of my favorite parts about this board is the drop down center. So where it kicks up at the nose and the tail, you can just step on this thing and you instantly know where your feet are, where they should be. It's just locks you right into this deck, which I know is totally overused, that term of locking you in. But on a short board, it's really important to have a really good reference point for your feet, just to make sure that you are well centered on that deck for carving, for any kind of like sudden braking, or any kind of like time where your wheels might slide out. It's like today there was a lot of this ice and I had to really be on top of the board, well balanced, and it was just real easy with that nose and the tail. It didn't feel overly short. It felt like I could still get a decent stance on it and just rip through a lot of this snow and through the cracks and everything in the pathway. You know, this is like pretty gnarly conditions, especially for a short board. I think with the Andre Villar, or the Lawrence Major, or even the ACEDECK Aris X1, I mean, this thing could really just rip right through it. Usually for about 20 minutes into a ride, I really hate polyurethane wheels. These tires, they're just so chattery, but after about that amount of time, you kind of get used to how they react compared to the pneumatic tires, and you can just get like a good feel for them and you gain some confidence. So, you know, I think anytime when you start out, there is like a warm-up phase whenever you're riding a different Sk8 and just kind of adapting to it. So after about this amount of time, I was a lot more comfortable going over some of the ice and just kind of knowing how the board would react. And it was super easy just to like maneuver around. coming back after hitting No Baxters, which was the midway point at about 7.5 miles, just decided to stay on the road this time. You know, you do get tired of those paths with all the cracks and everything. So just being able to get up to speed and not really worried about hitting ice and then all the little corners and like divots in the trail and everything. So this is a nice spot on the road. You can just get in that tuck a little bit, get in that S mode, and I was just flying around 20 miles an hour most of the way back into Tahoe City. Really, really stable. The one thing I really need to do is just tighten up trucks, I think. I'm pretty lazy with actually getting it all kind of dialed in. I tend to just do like a quarter, maybe half turn out of the factory and then just figure I'll adapt to it. You know, it is nice for like getting these like really tight little carves in, but for high speed and stability, especially right now, it's probably a lot better just to tighten them up a bit. Just finishing up this ride at the Tahoe City Dam. For 44 trillion gallons within Lake Tahoe, this is the only exit point for that water. Pretty impressive. And the water does look amazing. There is a lot of ice melt coming out. So yeah, wrapping up this ride about 15 miles. This little board is really impressive. It handled all these cracks, all the imperfections in the road, all the ice. Kind of, you know, of course you lose some traction, but if you keep up even a little bit of moderate speed, it does kind of just roll right over a lot of the garbage. You know, I'd almost feel more comfortable going over some of this ice than some of those big rocks and cracks. It just really felt stable. It's fun. You can throw it in the back of your car. You can carry it around super easy. And it's just like a cute little board. Kind of looks like a shark, you know, with that matte gray silver look to it. It's just super cool. I think ACEDECK knocked this one out of the park, of course. And these trucks are super, super overbuilt, I think, for this board. It really inspires confidence and will roll over just about everything. So that is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.